Welcome to the X Corner. I'm here to add a little mutation to that superhero crew. I'll be covering the X comics for the week of September 12th, 2018. This week we have 5 comics. Domino number 6, Iceman number 1 of 5, Old Man Logan 47, X-23 number 4, and X-Men Blue number 35. Spoilers. Yeah, of course. We'll start with Domino number 6, written by Gail Simone, art by Michael Shelfer. This is the final issue of the first Domino arc, and boy do I mean final. Domino and Shang-Chi are going out to eat after their death-defying escape, but Topaz finds them and goes all berserker on Domino. Turns out Outlaw killed Desmond last issue, and Topaz is out for revenge. She tells Domino that they killed Diamondback. They didn't, as we saw Outlaw get Diamondback to a hospital earlier in the book, but this sends Domino into a rage. She knocks out Shang-Chi so he can't interfere, and we get a boss fight. Domino is winning, but then Topaz uses her powers to debilitate Domino. Domino goes all zen, thanks to the Master of Kung Fu's teachings, and is able to continue the fight. Suddenly, a Quinjet crashes into Topaz. Outlaw and Diamondback to the rescue. Turns out Domino was implanted with a tracker, and that's why the baddies could find her, not because one of her friends was a spy. Topaz is pinned, and Domino borrows Outlaw's guns. Shang-Chi wakes up long enough to say don't do it, while her friends say go for it, but be sure you can live with the act. Domino then unloads both 6 shooters into Topaz, killing her obviously. Shang-Chi is disappointed, and says he'll never train her again. So Domino doesn't get the guy, and isn't feeling great, but at least she still has her friends. What a way to wrap up this arc. Finding out Desmond, who we believed was the main bad guy, died between issues was a shock. Then Domino executing Topaz was another WTF moment. It shows she isn't the average hero. I'm glad the Gal Pals continue on, and can't wait to see where Gail Simone takes our lucky girl next. The last 2 issues were drawn by Michael Shelfer, and while he's no David Baldeon, they are still way better than most. Once again, the acting of the characters through their drawings alone spoke volumes, especially after Domino killed Topaz, and we get her anger and grief. Great series so far, and this one is a solid 8.5. Then there's Iceman number 1 of 5, written by Sina Grace, art by Nate Stockman. Iceman is back. Bobby finds out about some missing Morlocks and goes to Kitty to assemble a team. She sends Bishop out with them because everyone else was busy. Bishop and Iceman stumble across a bunch of mutants trying to do a mutant massacre part 2 on the poor Morlocks. The 2 organize the Morlocks and fight back. They defeat the random mutants, but one escapes to report to his boss, Mr. Sinister. Back at the mansion, Bobby is pissed that Kitty didn't care enough about the Morlocks to send more help. But Bishop gives him some sage advice and says that they got the job done anyways. Jubilee then comes up and tells Bobby he has a visitor. She can't remember who it is, and for a good reason, since Bobby goes into the study to find Emma Frost waiting for him. It's nice to see the series back. I said back when it was cancelled it deserved better, and as Sina Grace explains in the back matter, it did find an audience in the book market. Hence this being a 5-issue miniseries, so they can make another sweet trade for Marvel to sell. This series, so far, is pretty superhero-y, and the art follows suit by being very generic Marvel. There are some shining pages, though, like when Bobby is training some students by sending an ice golem after them. It seems they all followed his ex on the social medias and told him that he got a new boyfriend, so Bobby just crushes him. I hope more of the character comes through, like the original series, to keep all these book readers interested, but so far a good start. 7 out of 10. Then there's Old Man Logan number 47, written by Ed Brisson, art by Damien Cusero. The giant plant beast from outer space is rampaging over a Canadian town. Only Alpha Flight can stop it. Old Man Logan first plans to use Weed Killer against it, but the creature destroyed the building, and a gas explosion blew it all up. Shaman then connected with it psychically. It was a species that was attacked, and it took over a ship and crash-landed here. Logan says that they can't reason with it, and then Shaman says it's weak to fire. Logan drops onto the thing's back and claws his way to its brain, and Guardian drops a bunch of gas on the monster, and Logan lights it up while on its back. The creature is dead, and the town is saved. Logan is healing from his burns, and Puck says he's found who Logan was looking for, and Logan is off to confront whomever that is. This continues the old school Alpha Flight reunion, and predictably, they win. I would think burning the creature would be the first thing on my list of things to try, but then again, who am I to second guess Alpha Flight? I like how all the Canadian towns also seem to be made of log cabins too. Even with all these nitpicks, the story was fine. There was a good part where Logan says to the townsfolk that crap just happens sometimes. There was also a funny part where Logan jumps through a window into a store. and Puck walks in the door, saying it was unlocked. Yet again, a 2-issue story that could have easily been a single issue? Deconstructed comic writing sucks. I have no idea who Logan is after, but I hope it's not just Wendigo or someone. I'm giving this one a 6.5 out of 10 for being bland. I may have hated the Bullseye arc, but at least it was visually great and tried to be an interesting story. Next we have X-23 number 4, written by Mariko Tamaki and art by Juan Cabal. Laura is trying to reach Gabby in the machine, which is switching her personality with the evil dying cuckoo. She finally grabs a ring above Gabby, destroying it, but not after getting torn apart. The machine explodes, and now the evil cuckoo is in Gabby's body, and Laura is flung out into the forest. The evil cuckoo seems to take over 2 of the other cuckoos, and the third, Mindy, goes off to find Laura. Somehow Sophie, the first cuckoo to die, is in Laura's mind, and Mindy can sense her. Laura says to Mindy that she's going to help her save Gabby, as the other 3 cuckoos go to hunt them down, including Mindy, who they see as a weak link. This comic read so fast, it was literally over before I knew what happened. I hit the last page and was confused. It felt like 2 pages. That is not to say it wasn't very nice to look at. Juan Cabal once again knocks it out of the park with the art. The expressions were perfect as well as some of the layouts. There's a panel where we find out later Sophie is trying to contact Laura, and it's just her name splashed across her silhouette, which looks snazzy. This is yet another deconstructed issue with whole pages dedicated to snippets inside Laura's head, including a rendition of the Brady Bunch theme mixed to the cuckoos. It went quick, but like I said, it looked good, and definitely changed the story on a dime, so we'll give it a 7. I'll assume we'll get some not Gabby versus Laura next issue, and I like the idea of cuckoos being on opposite sides. Should be fun. Then there's X-Men Blue number 35, written by Cullen Bunn, art by Marcus Toe. This is the penultimate issue of X-Men Blue, and we have the young X-Men meeting their counterparts saying they plan to go back to their own time. This of course means they'll have to erase all they've learned and become since then. The Jeans talk about the fact that young Jean will be sacrificed so that the old Jean can live. Interspersed with these scenes, there are shots of the future. Jean is seen battling an undead Galactus and a bunch of Silver Surfers, and winning. We then go to young Beast and old Beast in his lab. Old Beast is apologizing for causing this mess. Young Beast says that going home isn't the issue, except it is since they tried a while ago and failed, but who remembers that? But the fact that they have to change back to their original forms might be more difficult. We then see Beast in the future battling Ileana for control of Limbo as the feral white beast. Young and old Iceman are playing pool, and Iceman is talking about his latest breakup. Young Iceman is feeling like part of him will die going back, since he'll be back in the closet. Flash to the future, but not too far this time, as Bobby impresses a boy with some ice sculptures. For some reason, Iceman doesn't have much of a future. We then find Angel chasing Archangel, trying to tell him that they're leaving. Archangel shows Angel the Sleepers, mutants once in Zorn's care, but now in Archangel's, and therefore Angels. Angel says he doesn't want to be some kind of guardian. Flash to the future, and the two are battling, and eventually Angel kills Archangel. And then lastly we have Cyclops visiting his older self's grave. He says he doesn't have a future, and then the comic ends. It's an interesting way to make a comic exciting when it's really just a bunch of kids telling their older selves they're leaving. It felt a bit contrived that Angel would bother telling Archangel, but the rest of the conversation seemed legitimate. It wasn't clear how or why the future stories were happening. In the Jean one, there is one Jean, who might as well be the older version, but in the Beast one, it's the white lion beast, and the Angel one, it's the space-winged Angel, so they are obviously a version of the young X-Men. Maybe these are futures that will never be? It's strange now that Bunn keeps teasing Iceman won't live to have a future, but with one issue left, there's not much room to explore what that means. Also, the fact that this is all taking place while Extermination is going on doesn't really gel. Obviously, it's before that series, since Bloodstorm is alive and Angel has his wings, but the fact that they've decided to go back here doesn't work with them staying in Extinction, and them trying to go back already once and failing earlier in this series. Maybe the final issue will make it all fit, but I have a feeling Bunn had some ideas he wanted to go with, and Marvel pulled the rug out from under him and gave Extermination to Brisson to finish the story that Bunn was setting up. Not that I personally have a problem with that, since Brisson is hitting it out of the park. It does seem like both stories are going similar places, but not at the same time or path. Like I say, next issue will tell all. The art here was good, but the future pages were really nice. I could have sworn it was two different artists, but Toe did it all, so hats off to him. This one will get a 7 since it was good character moments, even if it didn't make much sense. Yet another week in the can, not the strongest of weeks, but there are winds of change blowing, so there will be some turbulence, or waves. I couldn't figure out which metaphor worked better. Anyway, next week more fun and games with our merry mutants. Bye-bye.